Well, my name is Alejandro. I studied University Universidad Autónoma de Nueva York. My career and specialization is in language sciences, specifically in teaching second language, in this case English. And well, I have been working here for almost 7 years teaching English. It's really a hard question. One of the advantages or something I like about teaching is that I get to work with the intelligence of the people. For example, a doctor may work with the body of people and a psychologist with the mind of the people, but a teacher has to work with the intellectual capabilities of the people. So for me, that's something that I really appreciate because I get to know people with different points of view and interesting ideas, and I also learn from my students. So that's what I really appreciate about my job. Some disadvantages may be it tends to be something exhausting, especially speaking about the time out of class. Because being in front of the class or in front of the group is something I really enjoy, and sometimes I do not even perceive the pass of the time. But when you get home and you have a pile of portfolios or a pile of exams, then it's something completely different, and I guess that's one of the disadvantages, at least for me. Well, I guess it's pretty good in general terms because of the profile of the students that we get here. So most of them already have the basis for English. So we just work on something that is already there and we try to perfect their abilities so that they master the second language. But it's in general terms, as I said, it's pretty good because they already have the basics. But I guess that for teachers that work with them in primary or junior high was more difficult because they were teaching those bases, but here we already got them, so we worked from that point on. It's also pretty good. The numbers are there. We have most of the people here in English. They do not fail to the subject. They can go to a second opportunity, as it happens with other subjects like math, for example, or physics. So here, the number of people that approve the subject is really high in comparison to other subjects. Uh, I think, and I have thought about this before, and I think it's a cultural issue because language is part of culture, and it's something that we need to assimilate. And when we try to do this in a natural way, for me, that's the best way. That means when you learn Spanish, for example, you were immersed in an environment that already guide you in order to learn this. You never reflect about this language. You acquired it because you were exposed to it and you use it naturally. When I see that people have problems with English, most of the time it's because they have no contact with this culture. While some other people, especially students that are really proficient in English, is because they are immersed in this culture. They check websites in English all the time, videos in English, they listen to music in English, they see movies or TV shows in English. So in that way, the language becomes more natural. And the expressions, like idiomatic expressions, they start to think in English, and that's the point, right? Because normally there's like a transition when you have Spanish, then you think in Spanish, and then you try to speak in English, like you're translating all the time. But when it becomes natural, you just speak English as if it were Spanish, and that's something I see with these kind of students that are related to the culture of English in this case. It's really rare that one of my students go to a second opportunity. I don't even remember the last time one of them went to a second opportunity. But when it happens, it is because the student has no will to collaborate. Simply not delivering portfolios, for example, is almost the main cause of someone to fail my subject. They do not deliver the activities they were supposed to. I have been teaching here around 7 years, and even though every generation is different, at a certain point they're always the same in the sense, at least for my class and my subject, I never perceived one generation that was really difficult or hard to work with. So I have always got a good relationship with my students. I haven't perceived that problem yet. Here in Ciudad, I guess the major mistake that we have, not only students, also teachers, is how to administrate our time. We don't know how to do that, and we tend to do things the very last moment. We get a load of work to do because we don't know how to do it on time and how to administrate. There's a saying in English that says, work is smarter, don't work harder. And here we work harder all the time, but we don't work smartly. That means we do know how to administrate, to do things on time, so we do not have to suffer at the end. And normally, I guess it's something, and that's why you probably have perceived this yourselves. Most of the students are stressed all the time, and sometimes we teachers spread this feeling stress to the students, and it's because of the same thing. We have a load of work to do, and it is, we procrastinate, we do something else, we're not simply focused. From what I've experienced, it's not listening, definitely. Most of students tend to do well in listening. I guess it's reading or grammar, mostly reading, but not only because of the section itself, but because it is the third section. When you take a TOEFL, it's something that lasts like 2 hours. So when you reach the third section, you are already exhausted. Your brain does not want to continue anymore. And then you find that you have to read 5 long passages. So you start just try to sometimes guess. I've seen it in students because there's no more time, they try to guess at the end, or they simply don't want to continue reading and they start guessing the answers. But also, I think it's something cultural. Many people, we do not know how to read properly. We can read from beginning to end, but we don't know how to synthesize, we don't know how to identify main ideas. And that is something that happens with TOEFL, because it's not only the ability of understanding or translating. For example, someone can translate a whole text from English to Spanish, but that doesn't mean that they understand the text or the idea or the structure of the text. And reading in TOEFL implies those skills, that you know how to identify the structure of a text, the main idea, how to summarize, and that's something that is probably not related to English, but it's also there as an ability. I think they are improving in a way, and again, because what I said before, this is something cultural, and whether we like it or not, whole culture is being more and more related to American culture. We see it in many different expressions, like in school simply. Many years ago, we would never think about having a bilingual program. We will try to defend Spanish or having the subjects in Spanish because that's our mother tongue. But this scenario has changed now, and students are being taught English from kindergarten. So I guess it's increasing the opportunity and also the mastery of these students in relation to the English language. I don't know, all of them. I mean, there's no difference for me. I have always worked with great generations. I don't know, I like them all. I haven't perceived like a big difference from one generation to another. So for me, they are pretty good, all of them. I'm really thankful that we have this kind of students here because it makes my job easier.